So my current mock-up that I've been using is a little bit more complicated than probably it needs to be, and as I've been converting that into an HTML page, that's given some of you guys a little bit of trouble. And so I've created a new mock-up that's a little bit more simple, so that way some of you guys who are having sort of a little bit of trouble with all the little details can see how you can build something a little bit more simple. Now this might seem fairly complex, and visually it is, but when it comes to actually building it, it can be a whole lot more simple, because a lot of this I can't do with HTML, a lot of this I'm going to have to do with images. So I'm just going to break this down into a very simple layout, and actually I can do all of this really with probably just one table. I probably don't even need, well, maybe another table over here, but I can probably do all of this with just one or two tables. It doesn't have to be that complex, because I've kept this one fairly simple as far as like chunks, like large chunks of space. Sure, you've got a lot of things, like a lot of complicated things going on visually, but it really won't be that hard to do. So this is basically one table here, and I'm going to go ahead and drag out my rulers. So this is sort of my table here, this section, and it's going to have 4 rows, more or less. So that's a row, and that's a row. Well, here's a row. Here's a row. There's a row. And there's a row. And this table is going to have just 2 columns. So pretty much right there. And some of my elements are going to have a TD colspan equals 2, like this, and like this. And I can't really do this or this with the HTML that you guys know so far. So they're basically going to be just images. And a lot of this I can't do. I can do this, just the plain purple text, but I can't do this or this or this with the HTML you know. I can probably do this, but will it always look that way? And since it's the same font as this, I probably don't want to. So this is really a bunch of images, and that's how it's going to be. And I've got my background over here. So first things first, let's go ahead and extend my background so I can get a graphic that I'm happy with. So I'm going to go ahead and hide my extras for now. I'm going to keep them because I need them, but I'm going to hide them for now. I'm going to make my canvas size bigger so I can get that nice fade on here without it repeating all the time. So I'm going to change my height to, I don't know, let's just do 2400, so more than big enough. And it's already the color I want, because before I made it bigger, right here, before I made it bigger, I had sampled this color with the background color. And so then when I make my canvas size bigger, it will choose the background color by default unless I tell it something else. So just a nice little time saver. Alright, so there's my backgrounds. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that real fast. I'll just go ahead and crop that. Actually, let's do this the better way. So I'm on my backgrounds. And what I can do is I could just grab a snippet of it. Like try to just grab a snippet of it and hope that it's a good amount, and hope that I get from the very top and the very bottom without anything extra. What I can also do is I can go way in here and zoom way in. And I can grab just 1 pixel. So just 1 like that. And I can zoom all the way down to the bottom, or move all the way down to the bottom. Hold shift. You can see it's a little plus next to my crosshair now. And grab 1 more pixel. And now if I zoom out, where you can actually see everything, you can't even tell. You probably can't even tell. But I've got a little pixel up there and a little pixel down there. I'm doing image crop, and that's going to crop my image to the edge of my selections, but it's going to keep whatever's in between them, like so. So now I have a nice, really thin, 1 pixel thick slice of the background. So I'm going to go ahead and save that for web. I'm going to keep it as a JPEG. I'm going to put all the quality all the way up because it's so small it doesn't matter. And that should help give me a nice, easy fade. So I'm going to save this, make a new folder, and we're going to call this Taco Dog because this is a pretend site for Taco Dog delivery services. And inside of Taco Dog, we're going to make a new folder called Images, and we'll create, and then this will be background fade.jpg. Alright, so now I'm going to undo before I did my cropping, and I'm actually going to undo even further back before the canvas just to make things easy. Okay, so before I do anything else, I'm going to go ahead and make a new file, a new .html file. So here's TextEdit. Open this up. We are going to save this in my Taco Dog folder, and it's just going to be index.html. Alright, so there it is. And we'll start with the head and the title, which the title will be Taco Dog Delivery Services. And we'll close out the title. Make it a little bigger so you can see what I'm doing. Maybe there. And I'm going to close the head, and that's it for the head for right now. For the body, we're going to do a BG color equals, and that BG color is going to be this color. So I'm going to copy and paste the color here, or copy it from here and paste it here. Don't forget the hashtag in front, or the pound sign, or whatever you want to call it. And I want my font to be this purple color because that's the color that I'm using. So make sure that it's accurate. Copy this and cancel. And if I remember correctly, I think that's font equals that. And what do I want for a link color? Well, you know, that doesn't even really matter. I think the default blue is fine. I think the default purple and everything, I think those are fine because it kind of fits with this color scheme. And if not, I can change it later. And I need the background to be that fade. So the background is going to be, it's going to be in the images folder because it's here. And it's called background-fade.jpg. Alright, so let's see if this works already. Background works. I'm assuming everything's working. Looks like everything's working. Let's make a little error in this, just to make sure the color's working. Color's working, good. Title's working. Is my text color working? No. No, my text color's not working. So, oh, wait, I forgot the hashtag in front of it. Now is my color working? No. Okay, so let's see. I apparently have forgotten the color for the text. So I'm just going to go ahead and check a previous file. Oh, it's text. That happens. So this is text. And we know that works, so we can go ahead and fix that again. Alright, there we go. So now it's purple. It's not a perfect fade. There's some issues in it, but it's alright. Okay. So we've got that, and we can slash body. If we want, we can even put the HTML tag at the start to be nice and proper if we want, and we can even close the HTML tag. So the next thing that we need is we need this table, and the table size is, right now my rulers are in pixels because I've put them in pixels. If yours aren't in pixels, you can right click on your ruler and tell it to go to pixels. The good part of that is if you make a selection with your marquee tool, this tool, and you're careful, you can actually see how big something is. So my table needs to be 980 pixels wide. So I'm going to do table width equals 980, and I'm going to do border equals 0, and cell padding will equal 0 as well, and cell spacing will equal 0, because I'm not really a big fan of any of those. Alright, so for every table we have to have TR and TD tags. Alright, so I've got a table. We shouldn't see anything. It should be entirely invisible, which it is. So if there is one, we can't see it. So let's go ahead and just add a border real fast. Ooh, little mistake there. There we go. Border equals 5. Save. Now you can see we've got a border. There's nothing in it, but you can see it's there. Now my design is centered, and that's how I want my design to be. So before I get further, I'm going to center this table. So center, and then slash center. Let's just put a BR tag in here with some dummy text, and another BR tag just for some spacing, just so we can see. So there we go. We've got a table and it's centered. Awesome. Alright, so let's go ahead and delete that because I don't need it. I just wanted to see if it was working. I'm going to go ahead and zero out that. Now what I need to look at is what is my table going to have in it. So it's going to have 1 row, 2 rows, 3 rows, 4 rows. So 4 rows of space. Maybe. I could include this as a spacer, and depending on how I was building it, I might, but I don't actually even need to. So that's so 4 rows. So inside of my table, I'm going to do TR and do TD slash TD. So close it and TR. Alright, so I'm going to have 4 of these. So 1 row, 2 rows, 3 rows, 4 rows.